What's going on, guys? My name is Agent Psycho, and I'm reviewing guys another review of one of the or the second of the two new GP weapons that Nexon has released as of the last patch on October 18th, 2012. And this time it's going to be on yet another variant of the G23 family and another variant of the G18 family, respectively, the G18 Carbon Black. So obviously Nexon has been intended to emulate the G18 family after the G23 family, and it's taken them like what 2 years to do so, but nonetheless it's here now with the now if they just released like something like the G18 SE, then the family complete. But anyways, they probably won't do that because it's already got the G18 Cobra and whatnot. So in any case, this is going to be a review on the new pistol in this game called the G18 Carbon Black. This is kind of akin to the G23 Carbon Black, which is the or the GP rare variant of the G23 family. So in essence, you can think of the G18 Carbon Black as a GP rare variant of the G18 family as well. Anyways, so yes, to kick things off, the G18 Carbon Black is now the first and only GP pistol that you can actually get for GP that's actually fully automatic. Yes, Nexon has extended the availability of fully automatic pistols to normal GP users, which I think is really great, because even though it might seem like, oh, Nexon released another fully automatic pistol, boo-hoo, like, Nexon sucks and whatnot, I really think this is really expanding the the boundaries and capabilities of pistols. People will be more convinced to, use their pistols a lot more as a viable option or as a viable means to kill people. So, yeah, there you go. This is the G18 Carbon Black for you. It is the first, I repeat, this is the first GP pistol that actually comes with a fully automatic function. Now, as a general overview, the G18 Carbon Black is pretty much like a clone, like an inferior version of the G18 Chrome. It basically behaves, mechanically speaking, identically to the G18 Chrome. It kind of reminds me of how Nexon released the M417 SB of the M417 family first, and then they released the M417 CQB afterwards. But that's off topic. I just felt like that, it was kind of an interesting thing to note. But in any case, like I mentioned just now, the G18 Carbon Black is pretty much like your G18 Chrome, but it does have like some things that the G18 Chrome enjoys while the G18 Carbon Black suffers. Obviously, because this is a GP gun. You can't possibly have a GP gun as good as an NX gun, right? No way. Anyways, so yeah, this is, and statistically speaking, this is actually very comparable to the original G18, and by that I mean that the damage is the same, the portability is the same, rate of fire is, I believe, the same as well, technically speaking, but it does have that full auto function with the burst. That's how it is similar to the G18 Chrome. It is the second gun now, or the second pistol now, to come with a full auto and burst function. It doesn't have a single fire because Nexon is probably assuming that we can tap fire adequately well with the full auto function anyway. But other than that, it has less accuracy and more recoil than the G18, so which is understandable because it's kind of like a drawback to the fact that it now comes with a fully automatic function. So now that now that I've gone over the stats of the G18 Carbon Black, listen to the firing noise on this thing. Hopefully I'll be able to mix the audio well enough so that you guys can clearly hear the firing noise on this. But this gun sounds so weird. I actually love the way it sounds. It's like a pew 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 gun sound. So I mean, I know I've called the PP-19 the pew pew 19 submachine gun before, but come on. I mean, in terms of sounding like pew pews, like, can you beat the G18 Carbon Black now? Like, how do you beat this? But in any case, that's besides the point. As for attachment options, I know that the G18 Chrome comes with a integrated ACOG sight. I'm not too sure if the G18 Chrome or the G18 Carbon Black is able to have a sight attached to it. I would guess so, but I didn't check. So I'm not using one in this game right now because I don't really use scopes on pistols anyway to begin with. Maybe I should, but I don't know. Maybe that time will come later. But in any case, I don't have one on the G18 Carbon Black right now. So yeah, I don't really know if you can put a scope on this. As you can clearly see, though, it does come with its own integrated silencer, so that's always pretty nice. And yeah, the silencer on this thing is actually pretty similar. I think it's actually the same silencer you find on the G18 Chrome as well. So that's a nice change, or that's a nice touch that Nexon put in. And yeah. Other than that, the G18 Chrome in comparison, or the G18 Carbon Black in comparison to the G18 Chrome, as you guys can see here, I'm using both of them in the same game. Oh, by the way, I forget to mention, I'm actually playing on the new map called Blood Bazaar. So, I don't know how do you pronounce that, Blood Bazaar? Blood Bazaar? Blood Bazaar. I'm just gonna call it Blood Bazaar. Because, you know, it's got 2 A's on the second syllable. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, so, I mean, as you can see, this is gameplay of the new map called Blood Bazaar, and hope you guys have enjoyed the gameplay so far. And, anyways, back on topic, the G18 Carbon Black compared to the G18 Chrome, one noticeable difference is that the G18 Carbon Black does have a slower reload than the G18 Chrome. And here's where this is the part of the video where I start lagging pretty badly. I didn't know what was causing me to lag like this at first, but then after I left the game, or I don't leave the game, but I just wait for the lag to go away. I realized that at a later point that I was actually uploading the TriStar Cobra Force review, which I put up about maybe like 10 minutes ago at the time I was recording anyway. So yeah, that was why I was kind of lagging a little bit, because whenever I upload, my internet speed kind of tanks, personally speaking anyway, or just on my PC itself. And yeah, so try ignoring the lag a little bit. It does go away after like a couple minutes, but yeah, other than that, the G18 Carbon Black does suffer a little bit of a slower reload speed, so it's maybe about a half-second longer, but it's not too bad. But if you're used to the G18 Chrome already, for those guys who have used the G18 Chrome, and you're used to the reload speed, you may wanna, you know, take it with the, you know, you might want to brace yourself for the slower reload that the G18 Carbon Black has. So there you go. So because I've pretty much, you know, covered the, you know, the changes that the G18 Carbon Black has over the G18 Chrome, let's talk about how you want to use this gun, because normally I don't really talk about that, and seeing that I have a plethora of gameplay left, I think I've got like 5 minutes or so, which is plenty of time to keep talking along for a little bit longer. The G18 Carbon Black. So the G18 Chrome, I recommend that you use the G18 Chrome on a, or strictly speaking, on a fully auto basis, because it's recoil and its handleability. It basically allows it so that you can actually go full auto at medium distance, and you'll still be fine. And that's obviously a really good thing. And unfortunately, the G18 Carbon Black, fail right there. The G18 Carbon Black doesn't behave that way, unfortunately. When you go full auto, it's obviously really good for, like, you know, close range combat, because, you know, full auto, close range combat, kind of makes sense, right? But at middle range, I feel that the G18 Carbon Black has a little bit too much recoil in order for it to allow you like easy full auto capabilities at medium range. So what I recommend that you guys put or how I recommend you guys use a G18 Carbon Black is by setting on burst function. Exclusively use a burst fire function, because this way, obviously, if you put weapons on burst, your recoil or your hipfire spread will be decreased, and they will hardly change at all, even if you're trying to spam as fast as we can, because, you know, burst fire function, it kind of works like that in Combat Arms. But the reason, but that's pretty much why I want you guys to use the 3-round burst on the G18 Carbon Black. It's having full auto is nice. Don't get me wrong, full auto is nice. And at close range combat where you don't really feel comfortable with the burst, then by all means use the full auto capability. However, at medium range, and basically all ranges in general, it may be in your best interest to use the 3-round burst function of the G18 Carbon Black. I believe that's much more beneficial that way. It's just a personal thing. I mean, as you guys can see in this gameplay, after like the first half of the game, I use the full auto function, and then I switch over to the 3-round burst function, seeing how much differently I perform. And it seems like in the second half of this game, I'm really liking the 3-round burst function, so I typically don't stray away from it like throughout the second half of this game. But yeah, the G18 Carbon Black is very compatible with this 3-round burst, and I definitely recommend you guys actually use the 3-round burst with the G18 Carbon Black most of the time. Of course, once again, I like to repeat that at close range you can just go full auto, because at close range, you know, you just need to spray and hope that you hit someone. But at medium range and in any range for that matter that's not close range, then I highly recommend that you guys use the 3-round burst. It'll be in your best interest, and I believe that you will be able to perform better with the 3-round burst than, you know, the full auto. I mean, full auto is nice, you know. There's not many pistols out there that have the full auto capability, especially for GP users, you know. Like, when did they ever have a chance to use a fully auto pistol that's for GP, right? But yeah, I recommend that you just stick to the 3-round burst. I know I've repeated that like what over 9,000 times by now, but it's just for added emphasis. I really do think that you will be able to do better with the G18 Carbon Black on 3-round burst than you would with the full auto function. Then again, if it is able to attach a scope, or if the G18 Carbon Black is able to attach scopes, then maybe you can go full auto all the time. I don't know, but that's just my thoughts anyway. Anyways, guys, that'll wrap up the review on the G18 Carbon Black. I believe I forgot to mention what rank it was unlocked at. I believe it's unlocked at Second Lieutenant something. I don't know which level of Second Lieutenant it's unlocked at, but I'm pretty sure it's unlocked at Second Lieutenant, maybe 4 or 5, I don't know. I think the G18 is unlocked at Second Lieutenant 2, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And the G18, so the G18 Carbon Black, maybe it's unlocked at Second Lieutenant 4, maybe 5, I'm not too sure, but I'm pretty sure it's unlocked at Second Lieutenant 2, so, yeah, it does cost, I think, like 4.5k GP for a week. Once again, Nexon hasn't gone around to putting back the one-day sales, one-day gun sales into the inventory again. They haven't even touched the inventory at all, even though that they said that they would. But anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. This has been a review on the G18 Carbon Black, and with this, pretty much now the G23, the Glock family and combat arms have been complete. So, anyways, guys, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Enjoy the rest of the gameplay, and you can shoot that.
Round start. Round start. Headshot. Alpha team wins.